All right, today we're going to look at area of parallelograms. Parallelograms are just any shape. Oops. Let me erase that. It's just any shape with two parallel sides. So it has two sets of parallel sides that will never touch. An example would be a square. It's not a very good square, but you can see that if these two lines kept going on forever and ever, they'd never touch. And if these two lines kept going on forever and ever, these two sides would never touch either. So a square is a parallelogram. A rectangle is also a parallelogram because same thing. This set of sides would never touch, and this set of sides would never touch if they kept going on forever and ever. And one that you may not be familiar with, parallelogram can also look like this, because these two sides, if they kept going forever and ever, would never touch. Same thing with these two sides. They would never touch. So our formula for finding area is just the area equals the base times the height. And most of the time you'll just see it as A equals BH. Area equals base times height. So if we're going to do a couple of these, this first one says find the area of this rectangle. And so according to my formula, I need to multiply the base and the height. Well, my base is right up here, 9. Because if that side is 9, so is this side down here. So for area, I would have to multiply 9 times the height of my rectangle is right there. It's 4 centimeters. So I'd have to do 9 times 4. And 9 times 4 is 36. I have centimeters, so my answer would be 36 centimeters. And for area, I'm always going to put that exponent of a 2 up there. 36 centimeters squared. All right, our next one right here looks a little different, but I'm still going to use my formula. A equals base times height. I can see right here that 8 is my base. But the height gets a little tricky because I have this line right here, and I also have this 7 over here. And the best way to explain this, when you go to the doctor and they measure your height, you stand straight up and down like that. You don't lean up against the wall. You stand straight up and down. So our height is always going to make a right angle. And if I look at the 4 right there, I can tell that's straight up and down, so that has to be my height. So to find the area of this parallelogram, I'd have to do my base, which is 8, times the height, which is 4. And 8 times 4 is 32. Again, I have centimeters, so I have centimeters squared. 32 centimeters squared. Our last little problem down here is a little different. It already tells us right here that the area is 32 square feet. And it tells us our base right here, and we want to figure out the height. So I'm still going to use my formula, A equals base times height. But this time, I already know A is 32. So my area is 32, my base is 8, and I know that 8 times something is going to give me 32. Well, we just did that problem right here. So conveniently, we know 8 times 4 is 32. So my height of that rectangle has to be 4 centimeters to get an area of 32 square feet. Now, that shouldn't be too bad. Just remember, you have to keep using this formula on every problem, regardless of what it is you're looking for.